warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone.
We are from Group 5. My name is Siska Pradina.
My name is Lana Hasanah.
My name is Almira Hadita.
And in this occasion, we are going to present about interlanguage and implication of SLA theories to L2 learning and teaching. Okay, keep on watching. What is interlanguage? The term interlanguage was initially proposed by Larry Slinker, state that interlanguage is a linguistic system that is used by L2 learners and it is influenced by the L1 or mother tongues. When the learners learn the target language, the learners build their own system and language which is different from their L1. There are four main processes that are central to second language learning. The first is transfer language, second is transfer training, third is second language learning strategies, and fourth is second language communication strategy. Okay, the first is language transfer. Some of the rules in the interlanguage system may be the result of a transfer from the learner's first language. Students use their native language to create their own language system, and this is not a mistake but a process that students must go through when they learn the two languages. For example, today was really tired. Second is transfer of training. Some components of an interlanguage system may be the result of the transfer of certain elements by which learners are taught a second language. The third is second language learning strategy. Some of the rules in the language of students may be the result of implementing language learning strategies as a tendency on the part of students to reduce TL to a simpler system. And the fourth is second language communication strategy. The interlanguage system rules may also be the result of strategies used by learners in their attempts to communicate with native speakers of the target language. In the last process, overgeneralization, some system rules between language may be the result of overgeneralization, the rules and special features of the target language. The example is when students say I got home, to overgeneralize the English rules by adding ed to the end of the verbs to express the past tense. This error occurs because of the learning strategy.
Okay, the next material is characteristics between languages. An interlanguage has the following characteristics. The first is systematic. At a certain point or stage of development, L1 is governed by rules which are the learner's internal grammar. This rule is to be found by analyzing the language used by the student at the time, what he or she can produce, and correctly interpreting and the mistake. The second is dynamic. The system of rules that exist in the minds of learners often change or is in a stage of flux, resulting in a temporary grammar succession. Salinger views this change not as steady developments along a continuum, but as intermittent developments from stable planes to steady highlands. The third is variable. Although L1 is systematic, differences in context result in different patterns of language use. And the last is the system is reduced, both in form and function. The reduced form characteristics refers to the less complex grammatical structures that usually occur in EL compared to the target language. For example, the omission of inflections such as past tense suffix in English. The reduced functional characteristic refer to the smaller range of communicative needs that L1 usually serves, especially if the learner is still in contact with members of the L1 speech community.
Okay, next I want to tell you about aspect of interlanguage. Interlanguage has been influenced by several factors. In this regard, we summarize that influence from a social, discourse, scholastic, and linguistic perspective, such as that offered by Rod Ellis. The first is interlanguage social aspect. In constructing between language, students use input that is influenced by social factors. Along with this, just human proposed an L2 acculturation model. He found the civilization of L2 learner when they failed to fit into a target language group for which they were unable or unwilling to adapt to a new culture. The main reasons for these failures are social distancing and psychological distancing, such as language and motivation shock. Okay, the second is aspect of interlanguage discourse. Foreign speech means the language native speakers used to talk to foreign speakers. There are two types. The first is grammatical and ungrammatical. Different steps of modification to aid interlanguage development. The first is foreign grammar talk are delivered more slowly. The second is the input is simplified. The third is grammatical stranger talk is sometimes arranged. And the last is foreigner speech sometimes consists of using complicated language. Okay, the next is interlanguage psycholinguistic aspect. Aspect of interlanguage psycholinguistic. Okay, the next is interlanguage psycholinguistic aspect. Aspect of interlanguage psycholinguistic is Rod Ellis defines psycholinguistic as the study of mental structures and process involved in the acquisition and use of language. In this area, we focus on several key issues. The first is L1 transfer and the role of awareness. Okay, the first is transfer L1. L1 transfer the influence that L1 students have on L2 earnings. This influence can be seen as different sorts of error in the learner's language or negative transfer. The second is facilitation of L2 acquisition or positive transfer, and the third is avoidance and overuse. Okay, the second is the role of awareness in L2 acquisition. Richard Schmitz distinguishes the term consequences from the first. The first is intentionally a conscious decision and deliberate from a student to learn some L2 knowledge. And the second is attention. Attention into which he proposed paying attention is the process of consequently attending to linguistic features in input. And in addition, he introduced consequentness, which refers to what learner consequently acquire new L2 elements. Okay, the last is interlanguage linguistic aspect. Okay, language typology students provide interesting prediction of what first-time learner will learn and what they will transfer from their L2. In addition, linguistic facts can be used to explain and even predict acquisition and the results of empirical studies of L2. Acquisition can be used to refine our understanding of linguistic.
Okay everyone, that's all about our presentations.
Thank you for watching
And see you. Bye bye.